As mentioned in previous sprints concerning the ethical implication of my work as part of the team for this sprint, I prioritize the transparency of the app's data, ensuring that our implementation of caching and local storage is respecting the user privacy and always asking the minimum needed information from the client and clearly stating what data is stored. Uh, and also our eventual connectivity solutions are designed with the user consent. Yeah, in terms of the societal and environmental impact of the product, on the positive side, our app helps users discover events and buildings efficiently and potentially reducing unnecessary travel. However, not everyone has continuous internet access or high-end devices, and for that reason, it's important to give information with limited connectivity. So in the sprint, we optimize some features to give them that information, and also we try to minimize battery consumption, reducing the environmental impact. And lastly, about the ethical implication of the app, we implemented features that work reliably with even with bad connectivity, uh, ensuring that areas with poor network coverage are not excluded. And also we are careful to show the buildings and events, uh, avoiding biased recommendations to the people that is using the app. These ethical considerations are key to give them the best product at the same time that we are not affecting them in ethical terms.
Well, there is a implication on the implementations that we did in this application and on this specific sprint is that we are using cache. So basically with the cache, we can be saving a lot of information that can be compromised for the client. For example, the location, that could be information that can be saved, because basically one of our functionalities is that we need to save somewhere the information about where the client is located in order to make the navigation works and make the route from their actual location to the destination. And based on that, we really understand that this kind of data is really sensitive and we need to protect them. And that is one of our decisions to encrypt this data about the location of the clients and basically have this information saved somewhere that is really safe in order, well, to protect the data and cannot be exposed, or that all other user that can get and is with a like a malicious with a malicious thinking could be accessing to this information of someone else's location, because we are getting this information when they try to navigate.
Hi everyone! For this sprint, I focused mainly on designing and implementing the login view, as well as building the event listing and detailed functionality, which include handling the connection with the backend and how we manage the flow of event data. From an ethical perspective, one key thing I've learned is how important it is the design with users in mind. When working on the login, I made sure the experience was smooth and intuitive, because authentication is often the first impression people get from an app. We also had to think about how we handle user data securely, especially with tokens and personal information like email and names. I had to make sure we were storing that data properly and not exposing it unnecessarily, which I believe is part of our ethical duty as developers. Regarding to the event section, it became very clear how much responsibility we have in how we present information. The events of our app are tied to people's real-world activities and decisions. So keeping the interface clear, responsive, and functional even when there's no internet was something I prioritized. I believe everyone should have access to information regardless of connectivity, and that's something I try to reflect in the ethical design. More broadly, I think this app can have a positive social impact on our university community. It helps students find events, navigate the campus, and feel more connected. That being said, it also made me about think about data, what we collect, where we collect it, and how it is used. Even though we are not collecting sensitive info now, I think it's important to always keep privacy and transparency in mind as the product evolves. Overall, the sprint helped me reflect not just on ethical decisions, but on the kind of impact of our work has on others, both in how we build and the experience that we shape.